But wait, Jared Goff can't win in bad conditions. Oh, Jared Goff in the cold and rain. Shut up.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, let's go, everybody. It's a Sunday edition of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Matt Derry with you on a post-game edition of Locked On Lions on November the 3rd into Monday, November the 4th. Lions go into Lambeau Field. Brush your shoulders off, boys. 24-14. They knock off the Packers at Lambeau. Hey, McKinney, the Packers. You said you weren't going to get embarrassed on Sunday. Oh, we're not going to let the Lions embarrass us. Well, Ben Johnson's calling play action passes up 10 with 2 minutes to go. That was embarrassing. Ooh, oh, doctor. Lions win again, 4-0 on the road, 7-1 on the year. They're the best team in the NFC. And today, in front of a national TV audience in prime time, in the rain in Green Bay, it was Goff and it was the Lions who stayed tough, stayed strong in the conditions. Jordan Love wilting in the rain, bad throws, throws behind receivers, pick sixes. He just dumped one right into the hands of Kerby Joseph, and the Lions do it again. That's 3 straight wins at Lambeau for the first time since 1986, 87, and 88. Welcome into the podcast, everybody. Thanks for making us your first listen and checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. A shout out to our everydayers who are out there that watch or listen to the program daily. That includes my man, Alex Haddad. I met Alex yesterday at the Rochester Hills Barnes & Noble. Great dude, came up and said hello. Alex, appreciate you checking us out daily here on Locked On Lions. Also, I ran into my boy, Larry Crockett, today. I haven't seen Larry in years. He's the founder and CEO of Lorraine's Premium Barbecue Sauces. Larry's a good man, big Lions fan. Craig Fellhandler, shout out to him. He was at Lambeau with some friends of his and some luminaries. Good stuff. Craig getting the win today and bringing one home for all the Lions fans. And also Nancy Taylor, fresh off her big trip to see Taylor Swift. She's an everydayer. Loves her Lions. Shout out to everybody that checks out the show. We appreciate you. What a game tonight. What a game. We knew the conditions were going to be bad. I said it on Friday. This should be the David Montgomery game. This should be the game where David Montgomery goes off. I've heard it 1,000 times. Jared Goff struggles in outdoor weather. It's cold. It's rainy. Goff outdoors. First outdoor game of the year. What happened last year in Chicago? All Jared Goff did today was miss 4 passes. 4. He was 11 for his first 11, ended up 18 out of 22. Had a pass rating of 109.3. His counterpart, the highest paid quarterback in football, the second coming of Brett Favre, the second coming of Aaron Rodgers, the great Jordan Love, pass rating of 69.7. Not nice. Lions win. Goff does his thing. Montgomery runs for 73 yards. Gibbs runs for 65. Penei Sewell on that Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown run, moving the entire line, basically from right to left. My gosh, that was Lions football today. Tough, physical, weather conditions. So what? Well, it's an indoor team playing outside. Shut up. Stop. I don't want to hear it anymore. Lion fans don't want to hear it anymore. This team is legit. They're the best team in the NFC, period. I'm not some homer. I hated the Amon-Ra St.Brown Green Bay Sucks sweatshirt that he wore into the stadium today. I thought it was ridiculous. There was no need for that. But you know what? He wore it, and the Lions backed it up with a win. He wore it, and they backed it up. Amik Robertson talking constantly, trash talk, standing over players, finally got an unsportsmanlike penalty. Amik, you're a good player. Stop it. Cut it out. It's not needed. None of this is needed. No just, I love that the Lions have an edge. Don't get me wrong. St. Brown's got an edge. Amik's got an edge. It's fine. But just Go do your business, win the game. And that's exactly what the Lions did today. By the way, that sweatshirt today that Amon-Ra wore today was ridiculous. It didn't even spell Green Bay properly. It's 2 words, Green and Bay. Whoever made that sweatshirt, fix it. Stupid. But regardless, I loved the way they played from the get-go today with running Montgomery, even down 3-0. They're moving, they're driving, they get to 4th down, and you figure, all right, take the points, tie the game. Dan Campbell says, no. First 3 plays, they ran Montgomery. I liked it. I had no issue with it. They just didn't block. But then the 4th down play, what a catch by St.Brown. What a throw by Goff in the rain, wearing gloves. And it's that combination that just you can rely upon. And Amon-Ra is a special, special talent. Jared Goff is showing you why he's an MVP candidate. But St. Brown today, 7 catches, 56 yards, a touchdown. There were 7 targets his way, 7 catches his way. You target him, you throw it to him, he catches it. I think I saw the stat today on Fox, and we're going to get to the Fox broadcast in a second. My God, was that Packers television today? Does Tom Brady do any prep at all? He doesn't know who the players are. Like, come on, man. I know you're a part owner of the Raiders, and I know you can't participate in some of the Zoom calls and stuff, but at least do some prep. Can we get Greg Olsen back? But regardless, like, I think I saw a stat on Fox today where the last 30 times Goff has thrown to St. Brown, he's caught it, something like that. It's remarkable. Those were tough conditions today. That was not an easy, it's a slick field. It's raining the whole game. And yet one team could handle it, the Lions. The other team, the home team, Green Bay, couldn't. Packers had a ton of drops. I think they had 6 or 7 drops. Wicks had a touchdown pass right in his hands. It was behind him a little bit. You still got to make that catch. And the Packers had double-digit penalties, 11 or 12 at my last count. The Lions stayed focused. The Lions weren't holding or grabbing. The Lions weren't jumping off sides. The Lions weren't snapping the ball at the feet of the quarterback. And I get it that Elton Jenkins had to move from guard to center because Josh Myers was hurt. And Green Bay people will tell you, oh, we didn't have Jair Alexander. We didn't have Josh Myers and blah, blah, blah. Well, the Lions don't have Aiden Hutchinson. The Lions made any excuses for not having their best defensive player? And then, oh, by the way, Brian Branch made a dumb play. It was a stupid play. The play was over. The ball was incomplete. And Branch went head first, helmet to helmet, to the Packers receiver. It was a bad play. It deserved a 15-yard penalty. But my God, a 4-minute break and then you eject him? Anybody see the Jordan Poyer hit against the Bills today from the Dolphins? What about Chris Olave? Those were not ejection plays. Yet Poyer's was worse than Branch's, and they kicked him out? That was preposterous from Clete Blakeman and the crew, and from the people in New York radioing in saying, eject him. Come on now. It was a bad play by Branch. Don't get me wrong. But ejection, no way. But you know what? The Lions rolled with it. Brandon Joseph played really well in his place. Kerby Joseph stepped up. Jack Campbell was all over the field today. Alex Anzalone, Gaines Media poster boy, did his job. And everybody contributed in what was complimentary football, Dan. I mean, it was just awesome. Awesome. What a win today for the Lions. 3 straight at Lambeau. And these are not bad Packers teams they're beating. 2 years ago, they knocked Green Bay out of the playoffs and ended Aaron Rodgers' career in Green Bay. Last year, that was a good Packer team. I know earlier in the year, they weren't as good as they finished. But look at the record that they ended up with last year. And, of course, Jordan Love won a playoff game in Dallas. Jordan Love he's turning into Brett Favre. He makes some unbelievable throws. He's a very good talent. But he also makes some stupid throws. He's been picked off now 11 times this year. Jared Goff never throws the ball to the other team. Rarely. Lions have been on a heater. They've won 6 in a row since that Tampa loss when Goff threw a couple of picks. Today, 18 out of 22, an efficient 145 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked once. Passer rating 109.3. spreading the ball around. You had St.Brown, Laporta, Montgomery, Khalif Raymond, Tim Patrick, Jahmyr Gibbs, Allen Robinson caught a pass, and Brock Tober all caught passes today from Jared Goff in really lousy conditions. Bottom line is we looked up and said, all right, 4 of the next 5 are going to be tough. At Dallas, at Minnesota, home to Tennessee, at Green Bay, at Houston next Sunday night. So far in this very, very tough stretch where we're going to find out a lot about the Lions, they're 4-0. Period. End of story. All right, coming up next, I want to give Aaron Glenn, future head coach Aaron Glenn, some dap. We'll do that next. Hand out some game balls. Lions win 24-14 over the Packers. Matt Derry with you on a Sunday, Locked On Lions. And of course, our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks bring you Locked On Lions today. Prize Picks, best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody. Here's all you got to do. Pick more than or less than on at least 2 player projections for a chance to win up to 100 times your cash. All right, you run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, want to do a little Patrick Mahomes? Hey, I think he's going to throw for more than or less than 230 yards. You can put that down. Bet some money on that on Prize Picks. Same for this Sunday night game tonight. What about Joe Flacco and the Colts? Can he do his thing again and work his magic? More than or less than on passing yards for Joe Flacco, or running yards for Jonathan Taylor, or receiving yards for Justin Jefferson. It's fun. You can do that from Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use the code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, use the code LOCKEDONNFL after you download the app. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Matt Derry back with you. It is a Sunday edition of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Lions win over the Green Bay Packers today at Lambeau Field, 24-14. Detroit has won 6 in a row. They started off the year 4-0 on the road. Think about that for a second. Remember when Dan Campbell finally broke that long losing streak on the road? Lions are doing great this year away from home. At Arizona, win. At Dallas, win. At Minnesota, win. At Green Bay, win. Next Sunday night, they play the Texans down in Houston at 8:20. Our man Turner Batdorf will be on the scene. Our main man, Johnny D, John Dyer, another everydayer. He'll be down there next Sunday night. I got to do one of these road trips one of these days. I wish I will not be in Houston next week. I will be in a beautiful parts unknown Illinois. But, man, this is exciting. Lions are the kings of the NFC, man. I know Washington is 7-2. I know the Commanders beat the Giants today. It's a good Packers team the Lions beat tonight. I understand that. But it is clear that the Lions are the kings of this conference. It's awesome. And what a sight to see those Lion fans. Jared Goff chants in the fourth quarter. Again, loud. You can hear them through the TV. Then all the Lion fans at the end of the game go down to the bottom of the stadium. St. Brown's high-fiving them. Amon-Ra did a little Lambeau leap at the end of the game. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. And they won despite, again, no pass rush. And I'm going to get to what the Lions are going to do. You know what? I did not even put up the proper. Hang on, I got to do this. I'm sorry, everybody. I have the wrong screen up there. There we go. Sorry about that. For those of you watching on YouTube, I put the right screen up. Lions need help with the pass rush. And apparently, according to Pro Football Talk, Zadarius Smith is going to be acquired soon. Stay tuned on that. We'll get into that momentarily. But regardless of all this stuff, you've got to give Aaron Glenn a lot of credit. The Lions don't have a lot off the edge right now. We know that. They're not getting a lot of pressure. There was not a single sack of Jordan Love today. I thought James Houston did okay. There were some other guys out there. Muhammad and Isaiah Thomas. Levi Onwuzurike played a bunch on the edge today. Nowaski was rushing the passer. But, then outside of Reeder and McNeil, even in the interior D line, Chris Smith was out there tonight. There were some guys getting torched pretty good in the run game. But see, the Lions, When they bend, don't break. The linebackers are playing really well right now. Jack Campbell is stepping up. And what can you say about Kerby Joseph? 6 interceptions on the year. Comes in on a blitz, finds the football, finds Jordan Love, catches that play in the rain, and returns it for a touchdown. Just awesome. Absolutely awesome. And 27 yards out to kind of put this game away, really. What can you say about this group right now? Because, again, they're missing today, for most of the game, they were missing their best 2 players on defense, Aiden Hutchinson, and then when Brian Branch got ejected. Yet they find a way. And Aaron Glenn deserves a lot of credit, a lot of different looks. And you look, Lions got some breaks today. Drop passes, fumbled snaps. All right. Their run defense was not great in the first half. Josh Jacobs ended up with, I think he had around 100 yards in the first half. Ended up with 95. All right. There's some things the Lions can clean up, but you have to give Aaron Glenn credit. They held Green Bay, and I know it was the rain. That's a pretty high octane offense, held them to 14 points. Oh, the young Packer receivers. Oh, how are we going to stop them? Whatever. Jane Reed's good. I'm not doing backflips over Romeo Dobbs here. Lions dominated this football game again. And man, when you can run the football on the road, you just quiet that crowd. And there's something about David Montgomery and how he runs, how he gets pushed from that offensive line. Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, these guys are big time. You've got to give Brad Holmes a ton of credit. Brad Holmes inherited a mess under Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. What a mess he inherited. And the drafting of Sewell and keeping Ragnow and picking up Kevin Zeitler, who was awesome again today. Gibbs and Amon-Ra. I mean, these guys are all really, really good players. There's elite talent out there. Kerby Joseph has become an elite safety. Another Brad Holmes, 3rd round pick? Amazing. And, you sit here and you go, man, the Lions got to make a move. And look, I say it. All right, I'm guilty of it. Lions got to make a move. They got to make a trade. Mortgage the future. Brad Holmes will make a move before Tuesday's trade deadline. By the way, Tuesday can't get here fast enough. I see one more political ad during a sporting event, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to keep it right here. I got to stay focused. I made you guys a promise weeks ago. We're sticking to football. But man, what a job. I think Brad's going to make a move. I do. He's going to. Reports say he's going to, but I don't think he's going to mortgage the farm is my point. People looked up today and saw the Browns getting absolute poleaxed by the Chargers today in Cleveland. Jim Harbaugh goes back to Ohio and does what he does. And by the way, Michigan, Jesus, how do you win the national championship in the next year? They're about to be 5-5 because they ain't beating Indiana next week. That's terrible. But anyway, Harbaugh goes in and beats Ohio again. In Ohio, beats the Browns. And people are like, oh, the Browns are going to sell Myles Garrett. I just don't see it. I don't see a blockbuster like that. But regardless, Brad Holmes, I don't think is wanting to mortgage every draft pick to go for it. You have to go for it. They need to pick up another edge rusher. What they have right now is not good enough. Next man up is not good enough. All right. The guys that were out there today, James Houston, I think PFF will be nice to James Houston tomorrow when we have the grades. I think his rush grade wasn't bad, but he's so bad against the run. So bad. You can't have him out there other than unless it's a passing situation. And Isaiah Thomas today was trying. You could see he's not ready for prime time. Like I mentioned before, Muhammad and some others, they need help off the edge. They got to go make a move. But tonight, we celebrate that this defense held Green Bay at home to 14 points, made plays when they needed to, got stops when they needed to, tackled, stayed on sides, just didn't make the mistakes that Green Bay made tonight. And, there's a little bit of trash talk going on. Obviously, Xavier McKinney, we talked about the very fine Packers safety talking before the game about the Lions embarrass people. And I don't respect that. They're not going to embarrass us. They did tonight. When Ben Johnson ran a bunch of running plays to David Montgomery and they were just icing out the clock and Monty's running for first downs and you get to 2:03 to go, first down for the Lions, and LaFleur calls timeout. They come out of the timeout, and Goff runs a play action pass and a dump off to Montgomery over the middle. That's embarrassing. That's clowning you. That's punking you, Xavier. That's rubbing your nose in it. You're throwing the football up 10. Oh, man. And then the Jared Goff chant started. Soak it in, Lion fans. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. What a performance. We're going to hand out some game balls. What about Jack Fox today? 61-yard punt in the rain. How about Jake Bates doing his thing? Love it. Love it. Everybody had a hand in it. It's a total team. It's why you play sports. Be on a team like this. All right, we'll hand out some game balls. We will do that coming up next, right here on Locked On Lions on a Sunday, a victory Sunday. Lions 24, Packers 14. Dun, 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 dun. Blow, pack, blow. And Locked On Lions today brought to you by FanDuel. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place your live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. It is that simple. FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, two things. Number one, Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk is reporting that the Lions are closing in on trading for the Browns' Za'Darius Smith, the pass rusher who started his career with the Ravens, then went to Minnesota, then went to Green Bay. Or was it Green Bay, then Minnesota? No, Baltimore, Green Bay, Minnesota. Now, here's the story with Za'Darius Smith. He signed a new 2-year, I believe, $26 million contract with the Browns before this season. So he's owed a pretty good chunk of change for next year. Very solid edge rusher. Unfortunately, kind of wore out his welcome in both Green Bay and Minnesota. Z Smith wants badly to play against his former teams in the NFC North. He told Cleveland reporters a few weeks ago he would love a trade to Detroit. He was not available for locker room interviews today following the game because I talked to some people in Cleveland about it to see if they could ask him some questions. He had bolted the locker room today and did not speak with the media. But it appears, according to Mike Florio at Pro Football Talk, that a deal is close between the Lions and Browns. Brad Holmes calling up the Browns GM Andrew Berry to make a deal. Look, Za'Darius Smith is a very good football player. I worry a little bit about the whole culture thing, and I don't like that other teams, Green Bay, Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst wanted nothing to do with him anymore, and he wanted nothing to do with them. I'm going to get more of the skinny on that this week if the Lions acquire him. But the Lions, my God, the Lions are getting him from the Browns. Lions need help off the edge. This is a 30-year-old that can really rush the passer. He's solid. A lot of his teammates today were asked about him after the game and said, really good teammate, etc. So that's good to hear. But I think we watched enough of today's game, even in the rain and the time that Jordan Love had to throw. The Lions need to add somebody. And Za'Darius Smith is at times a wrecking ball getting to the quarterback. Remember, he and Preston Smith were kind of that duo in Green Bay years ago. This is a good football player. And if that's where the Lions are going to go, and hopefully they're not giving up a lot to get him, you got to figure they're going to ask for a 4th or a 5th or something like that. Maybe it's future picks. The Lions have to make the move for Za'Darius Smith. So stay tuned on that. Looking at my phone just to make sure I don't miss anything on that front. All right. Game balls today. My man Anthony Pavicic, who is a everydayer, texted me today, and he's right. You've got to give a game ball, Matt, he said to Penei Sewell. Well, Penei Sewell is getting a game ball. This is the best right tackle in the NFL. And he planted press on the Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown run of 18 yards in the third quarter. He planted Preston Smith into 2 or 3 of his other teammates and just move the entire line to the left so Gibbs could just run right and run into the end zone. He's that good. He's a leader. He's dominant. You don't get around him. Did you hear Rashawn Gary's name much today? No, because Penei Sewell just handles everything. He's the man. He gets a game ball from me. Jared Goff gets a game ball, simple. Didn't throw a lot, didn't throw for a lot of yards, didn't turn it over. No fumbles, no interceptions. In a driving rainstorm, he outplayed Jordan Love. It's another example of Jared Goff going into Lambeau Field and outplaying the Packers quarterback. Period. End of story. David Montgomery gets a game ball. Iced this game. 73 yards on the ground. Started the game with Montgomery bulldozing Packer defenders. Game ball from me. Amon-Ra St.Brown, another one. 7 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown. He just gets a game ball for that touchdown because that was unbelievable footwork on his part. Kerby Joseph for the pick 6 gets one. And I'm giving a game ball to Jack Campbell, Lions middle linebacker, another Brad Holmes draft pick. 13 tackles today, 6 solos for Jack Campbell. Awesome job from him. Those are the game balls I'm handing out today. After this big win, Lions go into Green Bay and win 24-14. Up next, they'll be in Houston next Sunday night. So we'll do a late night pod next Sunday. Lions will play the Texans, who are 6-3, licking their wounds after a loss to the Jets the other night. But they're getting some extra days off to get ready for the Lions. All right. Thanks for checking us out wherever you get your podcast. Tell your friends about us. Saw a ton of Lion fans today down at Eastern Market. Saw a woman in a Brian Branch jersey, and I told her I respect that jersey. I must have jinxed Brian Branch, but shout out to all of you. Thanks for making us your first listen. Please watch us on YouTube and subscribe as well. Lions win 24-14 over the Packers. We'll work on some good special guests this week. We will give you the PFF grades tomorrow and do more recap tomorrow right here on Locked On Lions. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.